Here we are. It's been a while.
Yeah. Been a while since we've had a Radha Krishna. Oh, just popping the bevy.
It's not beer. It's a grapefruit sparkling water. Nice and generic.
Okay.
No, I was saying we haven't pod in a while, you and I, but I also haven't done many, and it's good to do this, but I said I'm happy to kind of explain why.
Oh, you're going to tell us all why you haven't done many podcasts.
Just some context. I think you and I have talked about how it feels...
We've been in a fight. We've been fighting.
Yeah. We were talking about how it feels like the podcast landscape. While I still listen to podcasts, I've just noticed that like they've been sort of taken over by large, I'll just call them almost corporate podcasts and celebrity podcasts. Mm-hmm. And there's very few independent, shall we say, type shows left. They got a bit gobbled up by the ecosystem, I think. And so myself, I was still interested in doing it, but I also noticed from the creator side that it was a bit harder to book people, but more importantly, people were ghosting and rescheduling like 4 times, 5 times more likely than before.
So you would try to book people and they would ghost you. They'd say
or they'd
yes.
reschedule at the last minute multiple times. You're just kind of like, this isn't my main gig. And I'm like, it's just hard to...
So you're like,
after 5-6 years, you're just like, geez, pause. And then I thought, I'm just going to do the pods that kind of come my way. Like they literally just happen naturally.
Yeah.
And a few of those are right in front of me. Like I'm with someone, I'm thinking we could pod. And I'm still a little just like, I don't want to change this moment in a way. I don't need to add a microphone to it. But suffice to say, I haven't given up on it. And I very much appreciate this forum. I think I'm just being patient to let it emerge what it wants to be as opposed to just pushing forward. So here we are. Radha Krishna Roundtable. June 2026. And these are fun because they're just freewheeling, see what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly don't remember the last time we sat down together, but I think it was maybe the end of last year. So it's probably been about 6 months.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
And I always enjoy it too. We obviously are partners and we talk together all the time, but this is like a forum for us to stay more present and more engaged with each other. Yeah. So I think day to day we do a pretty good job with engagement.
Yeah. So we're right here in the summer is kicking off. And we've been in some in-between times of some things. I don't know if you count yourself as an in-between times, but maybe not. You have your Mexico retreat, but that's coming up in August. I've been in in-between.
You mean like because you haven't been actively touring, you're in a pause?
Yeah, and it was also an end of a very long cycle that went, I don't know, 25 years. It's more like definitely from like the last summer until then, where we did from Australia to Europe to the United States in 4 different quadrants. So that's a full cycle. You know, and I feel like I want to kind of have a fresh look at things. How are you? Where do you feel you're at? Where are you at in your timeline?
A steady, balanced rhythm that I'm very, very grateful for. Not overworking, which is
you're
different.
about to make it less.
How so?
The studio.
Yeah. Yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I've been a studio owner since 2010. Honestly, well, my first studio was in 2003. 2003. So that's a 23-year run of studio.
Do you count the juice bar in Costa Rica as a studio? Kind of.
That was 2002. So,
okay.
That's entrepreneurship. Yeah. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. We're hustlers.
Oh, you come from a family, apparently, of much more than just hustlers. You're first, settlers of America, we've found out.
Yeah, that's a new finding.
Yeah.
That's
the original hustler.
Yeah. My suspicion about my family lineage was always that we came over as indentured servants, but apparently
You had servants, unfortunately. Yeah.
it was on the other side.
No, my dad's really into genealogy, and he gifted you for his birthday. Or
You asked your dad for
Yeah.
my birthday to do my family genealogy, which was very, very sweet of you.
He got like a master's in library science after he retired. He's into it.
And my family, I have a interesting family history where maybe many of us feel this way, but I feel very disconnected from my family, even though I have a lot of siblings and aunts and uncles and come from large families on my mother and father's side. There was a deep separation starting with my childhood, I think, from family for various reasons. Yeah, and I don't have any living grandparents. We don't have family reunions, even though, again, there's a lot of branches of the family tree and layered with, remarrying and steps and all of that. I don't have a lot of family. At the same time, I feel like I don't have a lot of family. So it's been really sweet to get this from your dad, which now includes the fact that fifth cousin, fourth
11 generations. Oh, sorry.
Was Francis Scott Key, the author of the Star Spangled Banner.
You have royalties. Oh, say, can you see my royalties? I don't think there are any royalties on that, but
like Happy
the copyright
Birthday.
expired. Yeah.
I don't need to make money off of it.
It's
just fascinating.
You are OG America.
Oh, part of
I mean,
me.
you guys wrote the theme song. I mean, that's how deep your roots are.
You know, it's funny. We were just at that Mariners game with your mom and dad back in April, and they sing the Star Spangled Banner. And I was listening to it then and thinking, not knowing I had history tied to it, but thinking, gosh, this is kind of an intense, violent song.
Were you thinking, this sounds familiar?
No, I was thinking like,
you did say
the
that.
bombs bursting in air. I'm like, wow, I mean, when you think about the lyrics like that in this modern day and age, it's like we're singing about war. We are singing about war.
Yeah, that's a lot of human history. At least the history part is a lot of war. But hopefully, like, the life part wasn't as much war. But it's always there.
But that's the song that's immortalized that we all sing about.
I know.
As, like, a patriotism.
Broke free from the British.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so he went back 11 generations, he told me, which is pretty impressive that's even, you can find this stuff out. And that you were in the Maryland area, not you, but your family line, your mother's side, in Maryland in the 1600s, mid 1600s. I mean, so that's like, you weren't Puritans, but I don't know what you guys were.
I don't know either.
But you were, English, whatever.
I'm about 50% Irish English in the DNA genealogy. I just literally, as I was cleaning my office, saw that statistic.
Cool.
Like 20 minutes ago.
How much? Which? Or how much?
50%.
What's the other 50?
Well, then there's like Dutch French is like a combo.
Elven.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But including, Sub-Saharan African and Native Americans blended in there.
Like Elizabeth Warren, like you like 0.08% or something? Or?
And Neanderthal.
Yeah, okay.
Not
I don't think I got that.
Yeah, not everybody's Neanderthal shows up. Which basically means I'm real original human.
So it would probably be your dad's side that had potentially the Native American, I guess?
I have no idea.
Well, interesting what I don't know if he'll be able to see that 11 generation. Maybe, because that's when they first came here.
Or maybe it comes from my mom's side, right? Early settlers.
Guess anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
It's remarkable how more or less 2-3 generations, that's it. That's all that's really like kind of in the consciousness bubble, so to speak, of the world at a time. You hold that.
Well, for Westerners, we don't know what the rest of the world is like.
I would say, generally speaking, 3 generations is what most people kind of know. Those are the people you might have actually physically crossed
I
paths
would
with.
again say Westerners, but I wouldn't make that statement about globally. They
Okay.
might have deeper knowledge of their.
I'm just saying on the fact that if you've met someone, okay, in your
Yes.
life, they're gonna have they're a known. Everyone else is an idea or a story or a photograph.
Could
or
you name your great grandparents?
No.
Yeah,
And I remember a photo.
but you can
of
name
an
your
image.
great grandparents. You can name your grandparents,
Yeah, that's it.
but not your great
Not
grandparents.
off the top of my head.
Do you have any name of a great grandparent
Yeah,
floating around?
floating. But my mom will she's like, I can't believe you said so and so. I know there was an Aunt Bessie who was a little. She had let's say she was airy energy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I remember a photo of being like that in our lives. But my own grandfather died within, I think, the same week I was born. So, and then my other grandfather, my father's father, I only met a couple times, and they didn't have much of a relationship. And he was not a warm individual, so he just would show up a couple times when I was young, and I was like, "Who's this?" And then he was gone. But my father grew up essentially with his father was kind of a difficult person. Sounds like angry. Definitely had racist tendencies because he said some things that were like lore that were really horrible and embarrassing when he would visit. And then my father basically broke free of that lineage for himself. Like, he's not that way at all. And that's someone has to break the chain.
Don Oswald, happy Father's Day. It's actually Father's Day today that we're recording this on.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
And
To all the fathers.
Dennis Smith, my dad. But I have, layers of dads. That's my biological dad. And then Jim Ingram, Roman Hendrickson, I have so many
Stepdads.
stepdads.
Yeah.
And then there's the grandparents.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to me so that you can look back and it's like discovering all this stuff, but it's just literally this literal line to you.
Well, where
connection.
did your dad take your family's history? How far
Well,
back?
and I asked him that too. I was like, I know you did ours, but I never feel like I saw any report or anything. I was like, do you have that? Like what you're making for Radha? And he's like, well, yeah, it's been so long, but he's like, yours, he got 400 connections or something. He said ours, it was like 4,000. So, I mean, he
Wow.
went deep on it. So there's some, I think, maybe I'm just at an age now where that's more interesting to me, and before I didn't really tune in. But I am interested in checking it out.
Well, what's fascinating about your line is it ends with you and your sister.
Oh, yeah, I've been told that by my mom. She's not happy about that. And I just try to remind her that, I don't know, I think we get hung up on our genetics. But our spheres of influence, just all humans to other humans, But yeah, the line ends.
Though, if someone traces it in the way that, like your dad is, it's just marriages and divorces.
I guess.
So
And births.
your line would continue on paper
Yes.
with me.
Yes. Yeah, that is fascinating stuff. But anyway, it'd be kind of cool too. I don't know if we go back that far for it even makes sense. If you start to see characteristics or something like that. I know you're not writing theme songs for countries, but maybe you are.
Maybe
there's
I'm
a
a
hidden
songwriter.
talent. Maybe there is a thing for you. This
I'm a
could be
poet.
it. This could be a new thing.
I'm a patriotic poet.
Add it to the list of the things you are
Well,
in your bio.
we talk about Court Johnson, your dear friend and mentor, and someone that I have had the great fortune of spending lots of time with too, with you. And when he sees me, he says, "You have one of the 7 original faces."
Yeah, I don't think he meant of America.
Of
but
humans.
Yeah, of humans.
Yes.
Yeah, he's coming from the Michael Handbook Seth teachings where there's the archetypes of people. Mm-hmm. And I think there's 7, or I think, like the Mars type and so forth. But you're the whatever.
The face.
Yeah.
The face
The face.
of one of the 7 original humans. He says,
Yeah.
"Do people sometimes stare at you?"
Yeah, you're like dudes on the street. Oh, by the way, last night, we were out and one of those kind of like young kids, teenager, college kids, guys,
Yeah.
came by on the Lime scooter things. He was busy, and we were out.
Yes.
And they said something like, hop on, lady, or something like that.
They said that to me?
You were Maya. Like, hop on, I'll give you a ride, you know?
Okay.
You guys left, and I walked to the car. 1 block later, those guys were, like, quote unquote, pulled over by a police officer. That's what you would have been hopping onto. Yeah, they were in trouble with the law already, like in a block.
That's the last
And I
thing.
had one shoe on, and like you were parked illegally, and it's a big sign saying,
I was not parked illegally.
It's a big sign saying you will be towed. And there's a cop, and I'm thinking like, does this guy even care? Should I hide and wait till he's gone?
You're so funny.
I think these things.
This is my secret parking spot in downtown Boise, where yes, it says don't park
Yeah,
here.
I don't know if it's a secret. You're just the only one who parks there because it says don't park.
It will never be enforced.
That's how you roll.
It will never be enforced. Yeah, it was a funny night last night. I have an annual party that I started about 15 years ago called Longest Day, Shortest Shorts. That's in honor of the solstice. And thematically, everyone is encouraged to wear the shortest shorts
Let's be
possible.
honest. Was it in honor of the solstice or in honor of your ass? When this thing started.
The sun shines.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, just a way to be playful and fun.
Yeah.
And I guess Whimsy's has a hot moment right now. So Whimsy's finding its way to my party. So anyways, we have to talk all about the party, but it was a DJ set. DJ Shocker Khan right here and her vinyl sets, which is a niche collection of Miami booty bass. If anybody likes the Tootsie Roll or ride that train.
Okay.
And food break. We were walking through downtown Boise in the booty shorts, which was a little awkward.
Like heel things.
Heel things. They're called heels.
Or whatever. You don't normally wear them.
No, I don't typically wear anything that I was wearing last night. I walked by one table. A guy's like, nice hoops. Had his giant gold hoops in.
Yeah. That was his in. Yeah.
Fun. It's just fun.
The guy who said that when we passed into the four was the two like college stoner dudes selling watches that clearly look stolen. And you said there's the Daytona contingent or something. Like there's Florida.
Actually, it was like New York City.
Well, game sees game.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, you haven't got to the point of your story.
What was the story?
We were walking. The whole reason you were telling this is like that you with your outfit and your shoes. You stepped on my foot.
Oh, and then we made a hard, quick turn to the right, and I stepped on your flip-flop, and it had a major blowout. Totally
You ripped
broke.
my shoe apart, so I had to walk around with one flip-flop and go home. And that's when I went by the police officer. And I was like, is he going to... He's definitely going to look at me twice. Like, what's going on with this guy?
I think you should have... He was You decided to walk with one flip-flop on and one off. You should have just taken both off.
Which is more awkward, downtown in a city?
One on is way weirder than just being like, he doesn't wear shoes.
I threw out the other one.
And instead you're like, he wears one shoe.
I thought I got the halfway there,
I would not. That would not be my choice.
The sign says no shoes, no shirt, no service. It doesn't say no shoe. So I thought if I have one, I could just be like, I had another shoe, but...
Those flip-flops were done anyways.
They're donezo now. Yeah. Thanks for almost breaking my foot. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know why we're talking about that situation.
It was just last night. Good times.
Yeah. I want to talk about two things. Now I don't want to make too hard of a pivot here. So this is more just saying that we're going to Esalen again soon, and going back probably I don't know if it's booked in December of 26.
Yeah, December 18th weekend.
Yeah. And we've been doing this, and we've been looking for other places to offer retreats, and I've also been looking for other places to offer retreat/workshop, just something in addition to or around concerts was an idea, or on their own events. And we've been looking for years and gone through a lot of things, and maybe it doesn't have the right sound situation, or not the right size, or not the right food, or not the right whatever. And we've got a couple lines out, and I think some of them are looking promising. We're really trying to, I'm trying to motivate to get something around some concerts. But we were talking about with Esalen, you know, I don't know how far. I mean, we haven't really announced any of this stuff, but I'm just trying to say, like, we're trying to do more retreats. So we recognize folks want to come, and we're also trying to do them in places maybe it's closer to where you are and unique to that place. So hopefully we'll have more. That's all I wanted to say.
That's just a little PSA.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's coming up for us.
Yeah, hopefully next year.
I don't know. It's just, it's
I love leading.
You got to
retreats.
crack the code where it's not, you know, too much work in preparation for us, because then it's like it takes like 6 months to do a weekend, but also something where it's just basically an opportunity to go deeper. You have more time, more space.
Be in community in a thoughtful way. Yeah, there's so many offerings and levels of experience.
Yeah.
To connect with folks. I get so much value out of that, whether it's a class or a workshop or a concert or something longer or whatever.
Do you want more people for your Mexico retreat?
No.
All right, then we won't talk about it.
I don't. But I look forward to doing it again. I'm going to, I'm going to do it in a month and a half-ish now. And I want to see how it goes. I'm really excited about it. And then if it does go well, plan for it again in 27.
All right.
So,
cool.
And then we can talk about it again.
Teotihuacan, Mexico.
Tonancin. And then I'll be back in Ireland with Amanda Giacomini in August of
for a retreat.
27.
Yeah.
Our Ireland retreat.
Yeah, you did it last year.
Super special. Yeah, retreats are just incredible times of connection and like broadening and expanding and healing and just I remember the first retreat I went on in 2008, like official retreat. There was people in that retreat that had been on retreats, and it was my first one. And I thought about the people who had been like doing this thing many times, and I was a little judgmental. I remember being like,
what, like they didn't get the message or what?
No, just like, how would I describe it? I judged it like
they're retreat people.
They're like retreat people, and like, oh, that's just. I don't know, maybe, I don't want to use, what would the right word be? Frivolous? Like, what's the point of that? Did they really get a lot of value out of that?
I see.
Is that meaningful? And fast forward 25 years, yes, it's deeply meaningful. And you can
especially today.
The same framework in the same place, which I did many times in Teotihuacan, like we do in Esalen, and every time it's magical. And every time you're like, wow, this was the best one. And this was so healing in so many ways, and a new layer that gets peeled back. It's profound.
Yeah. Yeah, so looking forward to that. It's fun that Robin's coming out. Robin Carhart Harris is going to move chairs at this retreat.
He's going to stack
with our friends. Yeah.
Sweep floors, stack chairs.
I'm going to surprise him with some kind of talk. Maybe we can record it and podcast it, hopefully, or definitely put it on the Patreon.
That's a good idea. Yeah, if you don't know who Robin Carhart Harris is, you're
been on
probably
the
not
pod.
listening to 10 Laws of the East Forest.
Yeah, you can search for that.
He's a
It'll pop up.
neuroscientist who's led one of the leaders in psychedelic research.
What's actually how we met was doing this podcast, and then he told me like they used my music when his child was born.
Yeah, he's got a Benji.
Yeah, and then we were like connected, and then we saw each other at various events, and now I feel like we're friends for sure. I would definitely call him if I had a problem. Just be like, I need some help,
100%.
Yeah, good guy. So I was in Asheville recording, and I feel like I'm fully in process of new album, but I have so many disparate parts that I'm just like, this feels like different releases. But I was with Dave Hodge, who is a great producer in Asheville. He's got Finger Sound. It's the name of the studio.
One?
Finger, just like finger.
Okay.
Sound. And he's in Broken Social Scene, the band. But he's a producer and songwriter. He's got a studio, and we was hunkered down and just did these heavy-duty days from like 10, 11, something like that, to 2 a.m. for, 6 days.
Sweet.
But we got like 13, 14 ideas out.
What I've heard so far is really beautiful, and it moves in a direction you've been wanting to move into for like 5 or 6
I
years.
think so, though, but it's been this weird process of it's never what I think it'll be. And then I'm always like, should I do this? And then, I don't know. I'm in a very weird creative place with it where I'm sort of just, the whole record, because I had stuff before, and I had that stuff with Peter, and I had this other stuff where I'm just sort of like, how do I want to, is this the one thing or not? I don't know.
It's creative. It's creative.
It's pretty early stages, but
you have an album that you're literally putting out in this moment. You just released a song. You just released a song a couple days ago.
The album's called The Invitation As We Gathered. It's all live recordings from we're touring over the last probably 2 to 3 years, and I felt like that was a cycle for sure, and I wanted to sort of put a capstone on it for myself at least, and so it kind of helps me in a way move forward.
So this album, Invitation As We Gathered, they're all live songs. Were they truly all songs that were recorded live during this last year's tour?
Well, most of them, and some was like 2 years ago, and there's a couple that were like 2.5 years ago, but they're all touring.
But they're all, would you say, concert songs, not like ceremony songs? Because you put out Lovingly.
Except for one. But it was sometimes I'll like play a song, and I always am open to play it how I want to play it, but then just like use it as a launching pad to keep improvising. So sometimes there's like, I think there's one track that's like that. And I actually didn't include certain tracks because they either were too ceremony or they're like from those hybrids. And they're super cool, but I was like, I actually feel like this should be saved, these tracks, for a ceremony record. And because I just wanted to stay in a zone, kind of.
What's the zone?
Well, just stuff that was from the theater tour. And it just has the cohesiveness there. I didn't want to like branch out and just pull in anything. So
there would be songs that people would listen to day-to-day consciousness, not altering. I mean, you can do what you want. I mean, there's some deep-ass tracks in there. Like, there's a live version of I'm Loving Awareness from maybe it's Seattle or something. And, like, it was hard to put this record together because there might have been 7 recordings where I just earmarked, the one that we did in, like, wherever, Milwaukee. And then this thing that was in, Santa Barbara. And you have to then go through, and just pick one. There's different ones that different things that have, there's this thing with the harmonica. That was so cool. Or, do you say in the song title somewhere where it was recorded?
No. Wait, do I? No, I don't. But on Bandcamp, I do.
Okay. Or liner notes? You got any liner notes?
That is like the liner notes. It's only a digital release. So Bandcamp has all the info. All the musicians, like people sampled and where it was and lyrics.
The date?
I don't know about the date, but you just know that it was from like basically 2024 through 26, maybe a little 23 in there.
Fun.
Yeah. Super fun. Super fun. Anyway, so I've been going through a lot of material, and then also had that studio that I got from Stephen Como, which is, I know it sounds like, how do you get a studio? Like, it's in a shipping container. So he actually like shipped it to me in my southern Utah spot, which is off-grid, back country. And it's just a 10-foot by 25-foot. So it's a little wider than a normal one. It was plopped down. It was all finished inside. So it's got crazy amounts.
It's like a foam cave inside.
It's like a futuristic acoustical treatment. He was a mastering engineer. So it sounds actually very flat and amazing in there.
Steve-O does a great job with that stuff.
Yeah. And then I had to upgrade all the solar, and that was this huge.
So down in Utah,
job.
You've got your shipping container and your studio shipping container.
Just a couple shipping containers, yeah. But I'm gonna bring my piano back down there and put one in there, which I guess I'll have to tune a bit myself. That'll be interesting and slow. It'll probably take me 2 days to tune a piano. But the whole thing, like, some of equipment here, we're in Boise right now in the studio, like that I don't need, I'm going to bring down there. That's why I've been buying other stuff, because I'm taking some stuff down there.
I thought you just like to buy stuff.
I kind of don't like more stuff unless I really need it.
Well, So is your plan down there with this new studio to make music? What were you doing there?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'd be the coolest.
Tell me.
Well, kind of how I was in Dave's studio, which was amazing. He has really, really amazing studio, amazing gear, analog synths. He knows what he's doing, just top-notch stuff. But it'd be cool to bring some friends out to Utah.
To your studio there.
Yeah. And,
you know what your studio is called? You know what your studio is called? You're going to bring them down to the Ass Lab? You're going to invite them into the Ass Lab?
Yeah.
His is Fingers Studio. You have Ass Lab.
Yeah. It said, so the previous owner, Steve-O, who we've talked about on the show, good friend, it was called the Bass Lab. And on the door is a red door, and it said in big white letters going up the door, Bass Lab at bottom to the top. So it was vertical. And he had a cat door, which is terrible, especially in the backcountry. He's like, the last thing I need is a door for like mice. Just walk in. So I had to get rid of it. So I take the cat door off, fill it with sound insulation. And I had these pieces of metal that he's had scrapped, that there's Corten steel, so it'll rust. It's cool. And I was like, oh, I'll just screw that over on both sides. I screw it over and I stand back, and it only covered up the B of bass. So now it said ass, and it just says Ass Lab. And I'm in like cowboy country, okay? So I was like, oh my God. The first good old boy that comes over here is like helping me with something. And he's like,
don't open that
won't
dungeon
say
door.
anything. And he'll go back to, he's like, yo, that guy up there, you know, that dude, the music, he's got an Ass Lab. Where would that lead? I mean, that's a game of telephone.
Well, so what are you going to do about that? You just
Small town telephone is like, it starts as Ass Lab. By the time it gets back to me, it's back to Bass Lab. They just got it heard wrong.
Are you going to put a B back?
What I did before I left.
Add SAS Lab.
Let me explain what I did. I found some antlers.
Gas Lab.
With two S's, yeah. No, I found some antler material that I had lying around, or was on the ground, some deer stuff, and I screwed it over the A and the S kind of, and then put another one on the door as like a handle. So it kind of just looks like lab. Okay. Slab. You're just probably looking, it kind of covers up, so you're not really as prominent, shall we say. There's nothing else red in the landscape either. Kind of, this red door of the Ass Lab sticks out. So that was a big project. But I think that could be really interesting to have someone come out who's okay with sleeping on the floor in the studio, on a mattress. And then we just roll that thing up. And, you know, you can do some hikes and so forth, but just make music in that environment.
For sure.
You know?
Who would you invite out?
I mean, any of the people I'm currently in collaboration with would be fun. And then, you know, people I don't know, but...
Bjork. Yeah. Open invite, Bjork.
I was playing Bjork today.
She'd come.
Yeah.
She would.
She's welcome.
She wants to come to the desert.
Icon. Yeah. Opposite of Iceland. We'll be in Iceland, August.
Yeah, Iceland Eclipse Fest.
Yeah, we're bouncing all over the place here.
Iceland Eclipse, this will be together, you and I, our third totality. No.
Yeah. Third.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been to some that were close. Like
partials.
There was
what
one,
I was thinking
like
of.
really, really close. In Boise, there was one actually.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it. I think it's going to be... They're just magical. They're really magical.
Even if it's cloudy, it's magical for you?
No, it's not going to be cloudy.
Okay.
And yes, it's still magical. But are you saying like even if I can't see it, I'm not going to not be able to see it?
Yeah, we need to finish actually planning out that trip. We got to remember that.
Well, just announced today, next August 27 is the Egypt totality.
Oh my God. Do these happen every year? Totalities? Or is there not really math like that? It just kind of happens.
I don't know. Maybe globally somewhere. Somebody will tell us in the comments.
Well, they're relatively rare.
I do know that the Egypt totality is 27.
Okay. Anyway.
So get us on the list.
Yeah, we announced some Europe dates, and that's one of them. So that's kind of the most, a lot of 2026 is a couple retreats and some Europe dates, so into February. And then we'll be announcing hopefully some U.S. stuff and other things around that here and there. 27 too. So
your life sounds really rich and full and wonderful. You have so many things to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Does it feel that way?
It's been Yeah. No, I mean, definitely objectively, and I do feel it for sure. I definitely got a little overwhelmed there, putting all that stuff together and coming off tour and just trying to find my feet a bit. But I knew it would take some time, and I've been trying to give myself the space, but sometimes that's hard to just give yourself space. It's me unsettling for me. But here I am.
Trying to reflect on you in the past months that I've witnessed, and have you given yourself space?
Well, that's what I was trying to say is like I went down to Utah right after I got the space after Treefort, and it was just full on.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to have it, and then that whole studio thing happened. I was like, I got to deal with this. And so that was a lot of work. And then we came back.
We just had a little vacay in the Olympic Peninsula.
Yeah, I saw John Dahlgren, and Maya graduated from college, and that was a great trip. And for a guy growing up in Oregon, I'll be honest, I thought Olympic Peninsula, I was there as a kid, but I don't remember it much. I'm thinking, I'm sure it's beautiful, but whatever. I've seen some moss. It was awesome. It's amazing. Stunning. Epic.
It was stunning.
Huge.
Gorgeous. Ancient trees.
Amazingly large old cedar trees, different kinds of trees, Doug fir.
I have wonder
spruce.
and awe and bliss, joy, bliss just shoots through me on the one hand when we're there, but then on the other hand, I feel such like grief over all of the flora and fauna and the trees that no longer are there, that used to be, that were there for centuries, hundreds of years, longer. I don't know.
We saw some trees that were over 1,000 years old.
I know, but imagine if, like, as far as you could see, there were trees that old.
I don't know how many there were.
Well, there were a lot.
Yeah, probably,
and then
definitely
the loggers came, John.
His family. Yeah, well, I mean, I've used lumber.
I know.
So, I mean, I can't. Yeah.
I just feel it. It just gets to me.
Yeah, for sure. But you enjoyed the trip?
I loved it.
Went to
like
Soul
I said,
Duke Hot Springs.
I feel bliss. Like I walk in those forests, and I'm just like mouth open, eyes wide, just wow. It feels so good to be in the forest like that. So good. And we're a bit different. You like to get high above the trees, and I like to be on the forest floor in the shade.
I love it. I just think I grew up in that. So to me, I love the alpine. Like I love the rarefied air of alpine.
I think that's wonderful, but I'm in bliss in the forest.
Nice. Well, we got in some epic forest. Yeah. It was also sunny and warm. So just like the sun coming through the forest, and you're in like a t-shirt.
Perfect.
Yeah. Shorts.
Perfect.
Yeah. No bugs.
No, everything was
incredible.
perfect. I'm so grateful. So grateful, so grateful.
Where was the name of the place we had lunch in Port Angeles that was so good?
Yodelin Broth Bar.
Yodelin.
Yeah. They have another one in
Very
Leavenworth. It
Very
was
expensive.
Incredible.
$30
Yes.
salad bowl thing, but it was truly amazing.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Especially to have food like that in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, it's somewhere, but I know what you mean. Port Angeles.
It's not the city.
Yeah. So we were away, and we had the sad news about Bob Thurman dying. And Bob was someone that we crossed paths with since we started going to the Ram Dass retreats. We met him in Maui there, and he's so charismatic as a public figure. And then I was really nervous to meet him, but I wanted to be around him. And I remember at the dinner, maybe introducing myself, and he was so warm and so wanting genuinely to engage in conversation and saying things like, "I'm going to come visit you in Utah." Like we just met. And you're just kind of bowled over by his joy and kindness and
his
openness.
Generosity of spirit
just
and presence.
Bliss. Yeah. And then we kept getting to cross paths with Bob, I don't know,
probably a half a dozen times.
At least
over the
Summit,
last
more
couple
retreats,
years. Oh, yeah.
a couple places here and there.
Yeah.
And he was on the podcast twice. You could Google search Bob Thurman East Forest podcast. It'll pop up. Great conversations. And I was telling you that one of his books that we talked about, maybe it was the last pod, was about that our nature is bliss. And I always thought that bliss being like you're super ecstatic is, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm a 10 out of 10. That's bliss. And I started to understand it from him, almost like the nothingness. Another word for it is the bliss.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally can vibe with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been such an eye-opener of re-identification with the word bliss. And we are just this blissness of peace is bliss.
Yeah, yogis like Satchidananda, Ananda is bliss. And when I talk about that, what I've learned is to define bliss as deep satiation, like deep satisfaction, like the feeling of like,
It's good.
so good. Like that's bliss. It is quite neutral. It's not elevated or ecstatic. Bliss is like this like expansive goodness.
The neutral, I think of it as the space between breaths in a sense, or like God, the equilibrium is bliss.
Totally.
And it's what, like life in a sense is moving between positive pressure, negative pressure, sleep, awake, so forth and so on. The duality. And in there, in a way, in its suspension, in a way, is where bliss breathes through, exposes itself. You feel it in its full form, but it's the substrate that all that is moving in.
Presence, yeah, peace, equanimity is bliss. It's like that's the void. It's that stillness, like a clear lake. It's just everything's calm. That's bliss. My teacher, Don Stapleton, he would say, if you have too much bliss, thinking like getting into an ecstatic state, it becomes a blister. Which I thought's funny.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about the equanimity and the polarities and the movement and flow, things aren't static. Things aren't stagnant. They're not designed. The nature of the human experience isn't designed to be one thing. It has change in it.
Yeah. In psychedelic states, it's difficult to put into words, but tell me if you've experienced something like this, where the staticness or the equilibrium, the bliss, you can drop into it, and through bringing your mind to one place, you are being held. You're embodying that energy. You feel it fully. Your consciousness is there, but it's like pure presence. Mm-hmm. And it's like where everything, that's it. That's like everything's like, boom, that's enlightenment in a sense. That's the primordial energy, the bliss. And then the thought pattern happens, whatever it is, and you start to, and you fall out of it, and you go on these reveries of forgetting, essentially, and then you might remember, and you come back to your breath. It's essentially a magnification of meditation.
Yeah, the breath. I was taking a yoga class yesterday morning with Marcy Midnight and Ananda, and for whatever reason, I was really getting into the breath. Maybe she was reminding us about the breath, and I was, how do I articulate this? Just having this relationship with my breath yesterday in my practice, that was the most profound experience. And it was this like moment of like, this is it. It's just the breath. And Hanuman mythology, he's the son of the Lord of the Wind. So wind is associated with Hanuman, and wind is breath. Breath, air, wind, kind of like all being synonymous with each other. And Hanuman is like this bridge of devotion to God, to Ram. And if you think of Hanuman as breath, it's like the way to God is breath.
Yeah.
Interesting. The way to God, like in your psychedelic experience, the breath would always be this like...
Well, isn't that interesting that the breath becomes the vehicle to have the experience, and breath in itself is an embodiment of this duality. There's in and there's
without
out.
Breath, you're not alive.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like,
and inspiration,
it's the thing that gives you life.
Inspiration, in breath. That's all woven together. The symbolism, the truth of that. Breath is it. Breath is God.
So Bob, when he would say this and about this book about our true nature is bliss, it's quite literal. And when you start to feel that and what that, how that embodies for yourself and your consciousness, that was a deep understanding for me, I don't even know understanding is the right word. Reorientation. I don't know. But I remember thinking about it the same week that he died and thinking about it. I was like, oh, yeah. And I would just kind of remind myself a mantra in my own head. I did this on tour a lot, actually. When I was feeling the anxiety or whatever I was feeling, I would just stop. Sometimes it'd be with the aid of tobacco. And in that moment, you're just repeating bliss. It's all bliss. And just open my palms and just fully feeling like all this stuff, but it's all bliss.
Again, that's Satchidananda, truth, consciousness, bliss. The true nature of consciousness is bliss.
Is that like the phrase?
Satchidananda.
The true nature of consciousness. Yeah.
There's only one truth. There's only one consciousness, and it is bliss. It's all bliss.
And Bob was very generous too. Like we did a whole interview for Music for Mushrooms during one of the Ram Dass retreats. I grabbed him. We sat down for an hour, and it's part of the Insider. So if you go to musicformushrooms.com, you see the Journey Kit, Toolkit, and then the Insider. And the Insider is like the unpacking of all the interviews and conversations. And Bob, that's where it is if you want to see it.
Well, I remember when you were editing the film, you were bummed that Bob was going to get cut.
I advocated to keep him in.
You did heavily.
I know I'm the director, but
really
sometimes
wanted
you have to...
Bob to be in the film. There's so many things that he said in that conversation you had with him that were deeply significant and profound.
And to be fair, with everybody's conversation, I mean, that's how films work. You pick like 30 seconds of a 2-hour conversation.
Yeah. But so much of what he said, you could have put the whole conversation in it. He's
the fun thing about
articulate.
30% of all of his talks are politics.
I like
he would
that
get
it goes
fired
that way.
up too. And I'm just saying. So I mean, it would be very topical to the moment about whatever was going on.
Nobody talks about politics in a really inspiring way.
Oh yeah, he was he knew that was important for change.
Exactly.
You know, he's like, these are some roadblocks and we need to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. And you can deal with it and be political while being spiritual and loving. And actually, that's the result of your practices.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Action.
So I miss Bob. I'm sad that he left his body and we won't see him again like we have been every summer, really. But when I think about him outside of his body now, in my inner field, all I get is like this giant white light. It's just like pure white light, pure love. And I feel like his energy just holding all of us, just holding the whole planet, all that bodhisattva, Buddha, enlightenment, pure light of bliss that he absolutely was a channel for in this incarnation. So grateful he incarnated as Bob Thurman, Tenzin, Robert Thurman, and he's still with us. He hasn't left us behind. And I think he's a translator of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and I'm not versed in it, but
he is?
Yeah, he's translated it. That was his main thing, was translations.
Okay.
That was his main gig as a teacher, in addition to being a teacher, because of his mastery of Sanskrit and Tibetan. I was going to say that, and I could get this wrong, but in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the way that they describe the passage from life through the bardo and death is that it takes time. That it's like a period of like 48 days, 40 days. So he's still in transition, that's to say.
I also, when I drop in to Bob, I sense like an enormous oversoul energy.
Yes.
Just like the size of fucking
the whole planet. That's like, what I just described.
You know, big Buddha energy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the sliver that filled up everything of Bob Thurman in human form was so much, and the laugh, very joyful. Yeah, he's funny.
He was hysterical, and he loved to crack himself up. He was always laughing at his own jokes, which is even cuter and funnier. And he laughs like a Muppet. Got a big Muppet laugh.
I would like to maybe I can put out the podcast we did before. Just
That's a
put
good
them,
idea.
re-release them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Dig
great
him up.
idea. He's so much to be learned from him still.
Yeah. So that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to touch on. Things you have coming up, or things that have been on your mind, or things you've been working through, or something you want to clear with me that makes me look good, and we can do it in seconds.
Things that I can say that make you look good?
Yeah, I said something you want to clear that makes me look good. No, whatever.
You know, we're year 2 into this current Trump presidency, and I guess just having a check-in where I'm landing with that at the moment is, it's just it feels like a comical joke that's unraveling before our eyes, but somehow still going in this destructive direction. Things have calmed down, it seems, with all of the ICE stuff, but probably not.
I think it's just
getting
not
less
as
coverage.
Yeah.
And so just trying to not take my eye off of the ball with all of that and be asleep to it as I get absorbed into my day-to-day life.
Well, like that's the strategy of Bannon is just a world of shit. You just throw so much that nobody can keep up. That's the literal strategy. So don't feel bad that you're just like,
I don't feel
there's
bad.
a lot.
Because I do I struggle with it like probably we all do. How do we stay engaged with this bullshit? How do we make it through together? What's going to happen next? We have no idea. But what does give me hope is the cuteness of the World Cup. In so many countries,
Cuteness.
in so many countries and people coming together. It's been so cute. It's so cute.
Do you see the Japanese fans bring trash bags and they're cleaning up?
I've seen everything.
It's amazing.
It's been so pleasurable. Mudita is the Buddhist word for joy of another's joy. Like I feel joyful witnessing others' joy, whether it's the connection that they have with each other in the crowds, or going to Walmart for the first time, or winning a game, or all of the surprises. It's given me so much joy.
Yep.
And having it here in the United States, us Americans with our soccer, not even football, and
we're the only ones we're going to call it something else.
we have football, but just it feels as if it's given a reinvigoration to our culture and country of the connection and connectivity and the beauty of the shared human experience, which is really refreshing, much needed. We needed it. We needed the World Cup to come here.
There's good people everywhere.
There are, and pretty much most people are really good people.
Most people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I'm just grateful for that. And the silliness of like what people are discovering about America and the ways in which we live. But also we're getting a lot of good PR of like, Americans are friendly. Americans are kind. Yeah. Americans are thoughtful. Americans are helpful.
Yeah. When I lived in New York, such an international city, and like it was well known that pretty much everyone wants to give you directions or help. They just need to be asked, because you're in this mode there of like, well, I'm not going to interact unless you never know what you're opening up. But if someone comes to you and is like, excuse me, can you help me find? They're like, oh, yeah, I can help you.
Yeah, have you ever had someone say no?
No,
exactly,
never. And I remember the very, very first time I went to New York City. I was a freshman in college, and I took the train down, totally naive, knew nothing about anything. I was trying to get somewhere in the village to meet a friend of a friend, that kind of thing. Actually, I was a student at Columbia.
Pre-phone.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't shit. And I came down, of course, at rush hour, okay, in like late fall, so it's cold. I remember landing at Grand Central Station, and it was chaos. And I was like, I have no idea.
How old are you?
18, 19.
Okay.
From Oregon.
Yeah. Oof.
You know, we knew it at Vassar, which is in Poughkeepsie, on the train line. We knew, that you could get on the train and get to New York City, and that was kind of a big deal of going to the school. I was like, I'm going to do it. this weekend.
You're a risk taker. Look at you.
Yes, I knew someone who, knew someone, and they're like, you could sleep on our floor in Columbia dorm, and we're all going to the village to party, and there's a bar you can get into without IDs, so meet us at blank and blank. And anyway, I get out of the train, the Metro North train at Grand Central, supposed to get on the subway, and 20 years later, I'm living there. I knew all this stuff, but at the time, I remember this woman just saw me. She's like, "Do you need help?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she literally took me to like the 1-9 train. And it's like, "You need to get on this train and get off at this stop." Blah, 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 and she saved me. And I did, and it was fine. And I found the people, and that was that. And she was
how humans are designed.
I remember her as this brunette woman. She was kind of excited, like, I'm going to save him. Like, I was just probably looking around like, what is going on? Where do I go? Anyway.
Scared.
People
like scared.
People like to help is what I'm trying to say. People like to engage. They like to feel purposeful.
People are kind.
Yeah.
And as a culture, we are kind. We are helpful. We
Not
are
always
caring.
people on private property in rural situations. They are, but they have this wall up, But the idea is like we all want to feel like we feel good when you help someone else, especially do the thing you love. It's the golden rule. Like you feel it in spades. So people kind of even unconsciously looking for ways to unlock that.
When was the last time you helped a stranger?
A stranger or someone with like the things I love?
Stranger.
A stranger? Well, I guess yesterday or when we were in the store or the smoke store, I mean, it was a small thing. I just like engaged with him a little deeper and he opened up a little bit, someone I'm buying something from.
Yeah, you had a real conversation with the cashier.
Yeah, and he like opened up a little bit and I was like, he probably needed that,
Yeah. When we were at the graduation for Maya, there was a line for ice cream that you couldn't see that it actually, you needed to have cash. So you got up to the front. The woman in front of us was a pregnant woman with like 2 other little babies hanging off of her.
2 babies and she's pregnant. And
she
waited in line like us for 15, 20, the kids. And she's like, she's telling her kids, I didn't realize it was cash only, we have to go. And they're just like about to cry.
So I bought their ice cream.
Yeah.
Because I had enough cash, luckily.
Yeah.
And it was just that.
I did not. And
Just
I was
grateful.
like, we need to buy them one. Just so the kids don't lose their minds and she loses her mind.
So she took it very graciously. She just said, thank you. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes you try to help people and they say no.
The woman on the plane with the baby,
Oh, yeah.
she said thank you.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago. We were flying to Japan, right?
I don't know. It's a long, long, long flight. And
Seattle
there's a lot
to
of turbulence
Japan,
at night.
and it was like a 12-hour flight. And I think for maybe 8 of the hours, a baby was crying.
And turbulence.
And it was
Like,
turbulent. Everybody's
continual.
trying to sleep. And I just had an intuition. I was just like, how I actually felt was this poor mother is just crushed right now with trying to deal with this baby. So I got up out of my seat and she was standing with the baby in the little...
The galley.
The stewardess zone. And I just looked at her and I said, I'm a mom. Would you like me to hold your baby? And she just said yes. And she started crying. Mom did. And I took the baby. Mom's crying. Baby stops crying. And I get the baby to stop crying.
Yeah.
And held it
You
for
were a hero for like the
while.
whole plane.
But that was just compassion. I had such compassion for that mom. And then the baby was better.
Yeah.
We can help each other out.
So soccer.
It's been so wonderful. It's been so joyful to see.
I haven't seen any. Well, we saw bits of games, but.
And yeah, it's almost to me like the games are second to the human interactions that are occurring, this melting pot of all of these different cultures coming together in such an incredibly open-hearted way.
And countries that their governments may be politically animimous to each other are playing sports together, and it's this, it's all good.
It just gives the sense of like this is who we are. This is how we want to be. This isn't how our governments want to be, but this is how. Yeah,
we can separate ourselves as humans, our shared human experience, away from our nationalities and any sort of nationalism.
And I think it's unique compared to like the Olympics, where it's one sport.
Yeah.
That makes it even richer, the depth of the connection.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's not diluted with like the people who, I don't know, ski and the people who skate and the people who whatever.
Yeah. There's sports we have never seen.
We're all like in football.
It's too bad it's like $11,000 or whatever to go or something, some of these games. But it seems like there's lots of ways to engage. I'm sure most of it's digital.
I heard that the Republic of Congo said that anyone in the U.S. from that country can come to a game for free.
Cool.
Because not enough of those citizens got visas to come. So there's ways.
There are ways. Well, good to drop in. We'll see what kind of rhythm we keep with this and other things. But I would use this forum a long time ago. I wanted to switch it where I could just share a lot more music. And I kind of used to do that in the past, but that's what got me maybe tossed off a Spotify podcast. I don't know. They are terrible about communicating.
Are you back on Spotify podcast
No,
yet?
I'm banned. But they won't tell me why. But I assume it's because I use my own music and some crawler, there's rights and they're like, you can't do that. And boom, you're off. But I don't know. That definitely was a punch in the gut. Whereas like all that work,
yeah,
your
that
catalog
deflated your balloon.
got erased in a way. I was like, that sucks. And people think I just like deleted it. And I was like, so it's everywhere except that.
Today's the solstice.
Yeah.
And instead of thinking about what is new that you want to birth, it's more the energy of what has come to fruition that you would like to cultivate and nurture and water.
I'd like to nurture and water more collaborations, even though I'm feeling a little tender about that at the moment. But I also feel an overwhelming sense of like, it's just excitement. And it's a wonderful anecdote to sometimes the stuckness of working alone.
So making music
with other people.
You want to, you.
Which I've been doing, and I really love it. And particularly people that I admire and I look up to as a people and musically. Because I like working with people that I feel challenged by. Like I feel like I'm stepping up my game. And then inevitably, I'm seeing how they approach music creativity process, let alone just life. And that's the richest gift of it all.
So more musical connections and community musically.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be focused about it for sure. But yes, I'm saying I'm not looking for like.
I know.
I already feel a little bit behind the needle on deadlines and stuff. But it's great. I'd rather have workload than not have it.
Okay, so working with others versus yourself.
Yeah.
Solo. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, may that continue to blossom.
And for our retreats to expand in a way that feels really natural and meaningful and easy and rich. Mm-hmm. And for our touring to just be more refined, but somehow more also beneficial to us and others, and we're refining that too in a way, less stress, more success, because it's been a learning process.
Well, mine would be like I'm expressing with the World Cup, people's remembering embodied joy, that gets to happen more, that there's more levity. More levity.
So you've been feeling more levity, and that's something that has come into your life?
Levity through that, but witnessing others feeling more levity too. I think things have been heavy. I think things have been real heavy, real hard, and we're kind of told all the time how bad things are everywhere all the time.
Right.
So that's depressing. It feels weighted.
Yeah, like we have to hold a lot of feelings at once.
So
and one of them is levity.
Yes. Bliss.
Bliss, baby.
Bliss.
Bliss is the substrate that all that heaviness is held within. So, it's not the other way around.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good place to end. Well, thanks, Radha.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you for tuning in and all your support in all the various ways. We couldn't do this without you, and we wouldn't want to do it without you.
Yeah, and thank you for listening. Thanks for sharing the album. Let us know what you think, wherever you like to do that. And I'll see all my council friends on the next council. Cheers.